Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another episode on Hungary, which will be the final episode as I've got completely bored of it and want to end the series. However, that comes with some good news, and that is I've been extensively testing some mods in the background, as you'll be able to see here by me playing Ukraine in 2026. I've been on Millennium Dawn, finally, got it working. And so, you can also see by the amount of games here, I've been testing a lot of mods in the background. I believe where... This is going to be quite difficult to find, honestly. So, it's definitely not this one. Just trying to remember the save game. I think it's this one. Let's see. Because I did play on the game from last week. I continued playing until 1946. Yes, this is the save game. I think. Has to be. Right. Let's see. Is it not this one? In fact, it's... No, it has to be this. Okay. Well, we'll try this one, hopefully. And hopefully we can finish off Romania and Yugoslavia. And then that'll be us for today. So that'll be good. But next week will be a Millennium Dawn game, and that is confirmed because I got it working enough that I'm confident with it now. And then we might do a game on trying to restore Russia as Crimea, or potentially a restoring Ukraine game, or potentially doing a Great War, or a Kaiser Redux, or something like that. At some point, because I've got quite a few mods to work now, so it's time we experiment and have a little bit of fun. Oh yeah, this is the save game indeed. I chose to puppet Yugoslavia and Romania in order to basically maintain what I needed in terms of Hungarian borders. Luckily all the borders have reset here, so that is very good, and it all looks nice and proper now. Anyway, this episode is... I actually don't remember what we're supposed to be doing today. Yes. We're going to do a Habsburg alliance here, and go down Ukraine and all that fun related stuff, and the Georgian monarchy and whatnot. So we will start with going to war with Italy here. We'll set that up and we'll get cracking on that. So we'll move Otto von Habsburg over here to the Italian border and prepare for such an invasion, which we will launch pretty soon. So we'll just get all the troops in position here before we launch. Go on to Zara here, because we don't need to worry about Yugoslavia necessarily. As they, I was about to say, as they have their own troops, they do not. So we do need to worry about them, but luckily it gives us a couple of minutes to take out the port of Zara, and then we can obviously move forward and take out Albania. So now we just have to wait for the focus to complete, which should complete in its good old time, while we deploy another division here, which actually solves our issue, because we can move this division down to Albania and basically maintain the front line. Now, this is why I stopped here when I was playing off camera a little bit, in terms of this point of the save game, is because Germany, at this point, decides to have some fun. And you see, we're going to have some fun here, because we're not going to give up any territory to the Germans, because it just means them taking more and more territory. So that's off the table. We're not going to do that. But then at the same time, we like a little bit of war. So that's the exact path we're going to go down, is telling them to invade us and take the territory if they so dare. Which I'm not sure if they will, but they probably will. But anyway, we now need not 7. There you go, that's the correct number. And then we'll deploy these 6 divisions over here to basically fill in the gap here for Army 9, or Army number 9, and then we can go from there, which is quite ironic considering we were just talking about the Germans, and no in the German language is 9. That is pretty funny that that coincidence is occurring, but we need to be very careful here of what we do, because I fear that we are going to have a small little invasion. Turns out we do need an extra division there, so we'll just assign 1. Right, so as soon as the focus goes through, we will have a little bit of fun here and get to work. It is just a waiting game now until the focus does complete itself, but once it does, we will be in with a little bit of some fun, hopefully. Also, I do apologise for the fan noises in the background, which I know you can hear. That is my PC needing fixing. Yeah, I know, it's only been in existence on this channel for like 2 weeks at this point, and it already needs a decent amount of work done on it. But then again, nothing I ever get as easy as you think it is. Just seems to be my life at this point. But anyway, we have got... So, I forgot about this one. I forgot I did that. Well, we'll do that because we may as well take the war into our own hands instead of letting everyone else tell us what to do. This is going to be quite fun because Germany's probably going to join here. So we need to clean up everything as quickly as possible. So we'll try and move into Zara here. Apologies for my chair, it sounds quite bad. It squeaks a lot, it needs some oil or something. Seriously, it's quite bad. We need to call them to arms. They should accept. I don't see a reason why they shouldn't. Right, my chair needs work. It is so bad. And I know you, like, the audio picks up everything. So bad. Right. Germany has not yet joined the war. That is positive. And now we've got the extra troops that I needed. So we just disconnect that one, assign them to there. And now we can fill in all the gaps that we have. And we can now get on with having a little bit of fun. Because now we will have an extra division here that can go and monitor the German border and maybe push Germany fully out of their own territory, which would be nice. So they will go up there, awaiting orders that way, and then we'll see how it's going down here with the Italian invasion, which there are elements that's going well, elements that's not. So we'll sort of push into the front line here. Well, not to do that, because that seems not to be an option. Why are we... Oh, I understand now. Right, so apparently the Allies are not being called in line, which is annoying. This would be quite useful if they were in the war. So we'll just manually call them all in. And then hopefully this allows for an attack to begin. There you go. And this way we should gain some more progress here. There you go. That looks better. And we'll check the Italian losses here in a second. Once we take out this pocket that we've encircled, which is a lot of divisions. It's what, 8 9 divisions, something like that. A lot of them. So we will be checking the casualty amount. Wow. It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. We are demolishing their army, is the only good way to put it. So let's do even more of a good job. Let's continue pushing forward here, because there's no reason to stop, so we'll continue going forward. So we potentially use these 24 divisions up top here. We could potentially push even further. Because one of the things I found with HOI4 now is you really cannot stop an offensive. If you have started one, you must basically continue pushing until you cannot push anymore. And that is one of the things I constantly try and do with this game, is just push an offensive as much as I can and make use of it while it exists to be made use of. Just sort of helps me out. Everyone has a different way of playing the game. It's just the way that works for me, I guess you could say. However, oh yeah, I gotta wait for their response. Poland normally gives up the territory and then Germany doesn't, is what I normally find out. Turns out, they handed the territory over. I was not expecting that, I'll be honest. We'll just border that territory in case Germany does actually decide to go to war, as I'm sure they will at some point try to do so. And then we will ask for more control of Polish territory here in a moment. Right, so now all our troops are going to move up to keep a nice line on the German border, because I do not want the Germans having a chance to reinforce or anything along those lines. However, we will move a couple of troops here into places like Parma and Bologna, just to keep the breakthrough going here, and not let the the Italians, sorry, get bogged down or entrenched, so that they can have the defensive advantage. And then we'll create an encirclement here by taking their port. They have indeed done an invasion against my territory, which isn't ideal. However, I can prepare for it by deploying 24 more divisions and just basically creating another army group, which is obviously available to me to do. We'll promote this guy here, and then nope, my mouse is not working today. That is fine. There we go. Send this field marshal down here to go and take back over control of Zara again for another time, and then we'll start moving down here and hopefully closing this pocket. Should be nice. And then while they're doing that, we will focus on the main advanced pocket here, and we're just going to push over to La Spezia, I think is the name of it. So we'll just basically cross the country here and hopefully cut the Italian forces in half here. This way meaning it'll be easier to take them out in full. So there you go, this will be much easier now, which is always good. And then we got a little encirclement here, which is obviously more Italians encircled. So we'll just close that up there. It looks like the Italians are going to fracture into a sort of, I don't know whether civil war is the best word for it here. Probably is, to be fair, the best word for it. Oh, there's another Italian pocket up here, which we can make use of to press our advantage. And there you go, that is, we'll keep the occupied territory, there's no reason to hand it over. it doesn't benefit anything. Right, so now the focus to take that, so we'll do this against them and just, yeah, focusing on taking as much territory as we physically can here, and obviously that is the end goal at the end of the day. Great, Poland has handed over more territories for us to govern. I think we should probably guarantee Poland here, to be fair, because they're going to get invaded by Germany at some point, because they've lost so much territory. So we will... Oh, we can't... Why can't we guarantee them? Okay, we need higher world tension. Luckily the British do guarantee them, so that is obviously a positive thing to see. And we'll just improve relations for now, as we cannot do anything else, unfortunately. This side, just remove the rest of Italy from being an enemy state at this point. Right, so we'll continue advancing down here on the Italian coast. We're about to capture Rome here. I'll zoom in here so you can see the Roman Colosseum here, and it fall under our control. There you go. And then we're going to take Anzio as well. Oh, that's another Italian pocket. I wonder how many sort of losses they've had so far. It's not as high as I thought it was going to be. Where are we at war with Germany? We are at war with Germany. I honestly didn't notice that, but that's why we set up a field marshal already. Because sometimes you might miss a front opening if you're not paying attention, especially if you're me. And then it's useful to have a field marshal already on that front, so you don't have to worry about it because you know it's already covered. So that is why I tend to preemptively set things up, because I know my memory is not good enough to remember to do it after they join the war, because it can't even notice I'm joining in the first place, so what hope has it got? Anyway, let's continue here and there and everywhere. Right, we now get a war goal against mandatory Palestine to take back the Holy Land, which is always an interesting one, but we shall see how this goes once we actually get the time to do it, because it means going to war with the Allies, and quite honestly at the current minute I don't feel like doing that, because we've already got enough on our hands with the Axis that we kind of can't deal with the Allies at the minute. Otherwise we would literally fold instantly. So we'll hold off on that for now, but what we will do at least is continue checking how badly we are beating the Italians. The answer is 542,000 losses badly. For anyone wondering, that's quite bad. I mean, it's not as bad as a million. A million on their side to like 2 on mine would be amazing, but you know, it's still pretty good for what it should be. Finland and the Soviet Union has signed a white peace. Fair enough. And now we'll just continue advancing down here towards Palermo, and then we'll be good. Oh dear, Poland. Oh dear. Luckily, I'm going to make sure Poland doesn't actually get invaded by the Germans here, by protecting them somehow. Don't quite know how yet, but we'll do it somehow. I'm sure there's a way. Well, we own Berlin, which I didn't expect to happen this early, so that is at least somewhat positive. We just need to keep it. This is the hard part. keeping Berlin is much harder than taking it in the first place. Right, so now we need to pick a new front line, which I'm thinking of going straight up there and sending these 3 there, is my sort of idea. Hopefully this works. Obviously it can't guarantee it working, but we're going to try at least. Could possibly try and attack in there. Actually, Stettin would probably be better. Or Stettin. I'm not really sure how you'd say it in German, so I can only do the English attempt, unfortunately. We are advancing up there, so that's okay-ish. I mean, it'd be better if we had full control of the area, but we're not likely to get that, unfortunately. However, we need to continue advancing down here. There's also now a naval invasion that's happened over here, so we'll move these troops that are just doing nothing at the minute to go and close that pocket. And hopefully they get there pretty quickly, which they will. And they can close the pocket here, which would be nice. No idea what does that do? Did that just give me that it gave me some sort of military, not million, some military and civilian factories, but beyond that wasn't much. We will reintegrate Slovakia here, which would be good to do. And then we will continue pushing with Otto von Habsburg here, down here against these troops here, which should start ramping up in a minute. It's really quite hard to push them here because they've got entrenched now, because there's not much territory left. So they've been able to build up sort of defensive lines and probably put on last stand or desperate defense or whatever it is called, which is annoying, but what can you do? The answer is not much. You see, I would teleport these troops here into there, like next to Palermo, but I don't feel like doing that because that would just defeat the purpose of what we're trying to do. Because that'd just be too easy, and that'd also be fully cheating. So let's just not do that. Let's in fact do this, encircle divisions that don't want to stand down, put another front line on there, and that should sort the issue out instead. It'll be quite difficult to breach this sort of sea gap here, but if I can take out a lot of their divisions, which I am taking out here, should be a lot easier, hopefully. No real guarantees there, to be fair, but we will at least have a go at it. Right, so I'll take all of these and attack into here, and hopefully that will go as intended. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, one by one they're all going to start going, which is good. That is going to be a massive moment for us, and not a great moment for the Italians, as I thought so indeed. 740,000, 1.1 million from the entire faction. I can say now definitively that it's going to get worse for them, and probably worse for us as well. But as long as we're quick here, we can try and immediately hop over the sea zone here. Yes, that's very good, because that was going to be the hardest part of the entire operation, to get to Palermo, was trying to actually breach the sea, because it is so difficult to do if you've got like 20 divisions stuck here. So to actually be able to get across before they were ready for it and then capitalise on it is such a good thing. So I'm going to start to close this pocket now, which is another Italian division not to be worried about again, which is obviously a positive thing, because it means we're closer to sort of stopping the enemy being the enemy. There you go, that is it. Italy surrendered. Now it's just the job of, well, surrendering Germany, which they are actually pushing us back now, which is not good. So we'll send Otto von Habsburg up, and we'll keep Hugo Sonyi. Sounded sort of Japanese or Korean, but he's Hungarian. We'll keep him and Army Group 3 sort of down in Italy, so they can respond to anything in the Balkans or in Italy itself, in terms of naval invasions and all that sort of thing, as that would be quite handy to have from a sort of backup standpoint or sort of defensive standpoint, you could say. Anyway, what this does mean now is I think all the Italian troops have been moved off the front line here. Oh, they have. Okay, that's good. No, I mean, there's still a couple, but there's not as many as there could have been, which is good. We're also advancing back forward now, I think. I think I'm wrong. Yeah, I think I'm very much wrong. We're taking some advances, but we have probably lost quite a few troops. We've lost at least 4, so I need to replenish them. So I'll just train the Marines up here, just for them, to cover all the gaps and just make sure everything is going accordingly to plan. So they will deploy from down here, when they're ready, obviously. And now when Otto von Habsburg and his troops get up here, we should start seeing a much higher rate of success in terms of attacks forward and sort of trying to push the front line a bit forward from where it currently is. And trying to take Berlin again would be quite nice, because obviously we took it the first time, we need to take it again because they pushed us back the first time. But we should take it again here in a minute, that shouldn't be much of a problem. Which we're seeing now that we are actually starting to make some decent pace towards Berlin, now that we've moved Otto von Habsburg up and just basically put overwhelming troop numbers on them, which is positive. I mean, we might take Berlin again here in a second. I mean, to be fair, we're going to have to if we want to surrender the Germans, which is not a fun task. Obviously, we're not surrendering, we're open an AR, but this is going to be a very interesting task to try and achieve the goal of getting the Germans to surrender to us. But we have got a better chance now that we've got more troops on the front line. In fact, we may have Berlin here in a second. I'm just waiting to see it fall. It's going to be a fight because they keep putting more troops onto Berlin. But if we can take the surrounding areas and sort of... Oh no, we don't need to do that, we can just take it directly. Fair enough. Anyway, we have Berlin, which is good. We're gaining more troops down on the sort of French border area, which is also positive. I mean, generally, it's going alright so far in the second attempt of a German invasion, but you know, you have to sort of wait and see how these things play out before you properly make a decision on, you know, is it going well or is it not? I mean, I'll be able to tell you if it's going well when Germany surrenders, so that's the sort of level I'm at, is when Germany surrenders, it's gone well. If we surrender, then, well, it's gone quite badly. So we'll move up here. It's going okay. we're advancing forward here now. Oh, we've got a pocket of some German troops. That is always a good sign of things going well. Because the less troops they have, the less they're able to defend, which is always a good sign. What's that sort of troop sort of situation looking like up here? It's usable. We could potentially make use of this. I mean, no guarantees that's going to work, but it's at least something we could make some type of use of. We'll try that and see if that works instead. No, it did not. That is fine. Wasn't expecting any of that sort of stuff to work, and it was just sort of trying it out, see if we had an opportunity to do it. But we're just going to have to attack directly off the front line with as many troops as we physically can. In fact, I think we split them in half here, which is nice. We have indeed. So we will tell both the Army Group 1 and Army Group 2 to basically close the pocket here that we've got. And that way we should be in a better sort of state to control how things are going to play out here in Germany. And we've in fact got another pocket here, which is really nice of us to have. We'll just close it up because I don't see a point in leaving it open. And this video will end as soon as Germany surrenders. Because at that point we already have pretty much all of Austria Hungary. There is no reason to continue. Oh, we've also got a pocket up here, which means I need to capitalise on this. Okay, I'm just figuring out which command belongs to who. So do they not have... I'm so confused. Oh, of course. Okay, so that's got it. Right then, they've got at least one front line there, so that's good. Then we'll put them with front line there, and then that should all be nice and working smoothly. And here goes Hamburg, and then we'll continue up here towards Denmark, and just making sure that the Germans are taken out of everywhere, and everywhere is brought under our friendly control. So the Soviet Union has now demanded territory, and the simple answer is they can have it the same as Germany had it. They want the territory, they come and get it. End of story. Because everyone thinks we're just going to bow over and give them territory, which is not the case. They are going to have to take it manually by aggression and war, which if they're not prepared for, then they don't deserve the territory. But we're almost finished here in Germany, which is a positive sign. Now we just need to wait for our troops to just basically close the pockets, and we get the Soviet Union going to war. Nice. I knew there would be someone who decided to do something funny today. Well, at least we have troops in reserve for this exact occasion. Right, so we'll move all of our 24 divisions there that are in the rear waiting to do something over to go and clean that up. While they're on that, we're going to continue taking out Germany here. And once Germany's done, the video will end and we'll move on to Millennium Dawn next week, which would be nice. But we literally just have to wait for Germany to surrender now. This could take a long time. Or not at all. What do we do here? Well, I mean, here, there is really a question of what do we do? The answer is we take all the navy, obviously. May take a couple of turns to do it, but we will take it. So that's all the navy done there. And then we will take as much of this territory as we can. Here we go. We're going to just take all the Italian territory here. Apparently we can't do it. You know what? Let's just continue turns until we can. There you go. We can take all of Italy here, which is obviously a positive sign. And then Germany. Not really sure what we're going to do with the Germans here. Thinking possibly just puppet the Germans. Could be an option here. Well, we'll probably just take German puppet, probably, in as many states as we can muster to take one. Because we don't need the entirety of Germany, it's just anything that borders us would be nice to sort of maintain a level of control over. Take that, and then we'll leave let this all go, because there's no reason to worry about it or anything along those lines. But we will take that last little bit there. And obviously we can't take all of this, so we're going to have to here is the question, what do we do? I'm thinking here that we drop that, and that might allow us to take it all. Okay, will. So he's got to drop Sicily, that's not a problem. Forfeit that, because it's just going to go to our ally anyway. But we've got more chance to puppet some more German states here, which is good. I would take that one as well. There we go. So we've got more German states here to become puppet of us, technically, which is fun. So we obviously got the normal Germans and then my lovely puppet Germans, which we've just let them basically take as much territory as they feel like taking. Here. Now we obviously got this, which basically means that Italy will be reversed from forming as Italy to now being independent states again, which is obviously a good thing for us because it means one less sort of world power. It means we get a lot more power on the world stage, which is obviously a positive thing. Anyway, that is the end of this video. Next week will be a Millennium Dawn video, so make sure to tune in for that one. Now, if you did like this video, please do like, because it shows me you liked it and enjoyed the video, and it makes YouTube push it to more people, which is always a good thing for my content, because it means they can get, well, it can get a bit better, because the more people watching, the more I become motivated to make it better and the more enjoyable, some may say. Also, please do subscribe, because it helps grow the channel. And also, when you do subscribe, please turn on your post notifications, which is the bell icon, and that notifies you every time I post a video, which, especially considering I'm going to have a lot of mod videos coming out soon, and I'm considering a couple of other different style bits of content on this channel soon, so watch this space. It is going to change a bit soon, the channel, and it'll get a little bit more varied content, hopefully. So do tune in for that. And with that being said, I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.